Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to episode 94 of the Prosperous Yogini podcast. And I have a 3-part mini-series for you coming up over the next 3 weeks. It is heading into the Easter holidays in my world, and in a not too distant future, my hubby and kids are going to be at home. So recording a podcast episode is just not possible. So I'm seizing the opportunity to pick my favorite number, 3. Don't know if you've noticed, I always do 3-part mini-series. 3 is the magic number in my world. I'm using this as an opportunity to bring our attention to 3 of the 7 energy centers that we work with in terms of the practice of yoga. I just want to caveat here that not all schools of yoga, not all yoga teachers, not all yogis actually work with the 7 energy chakra system. There are many energy maps of the human body. Let me give you another example. So we have, in terms of traditional Chinese medicine, the meridian system. Okay. I love the many maps approach. I love the idea that we have a knowing as human beings that energetically we are more than just a physical. And these maps, these energy systems that we see are our ways of communicating that. I'm thinking now the human design system. If you go back to the episode that I did with Finny back in January, human design system works with a 9 energy system, with this belief that the human beings have been evolving from the 7 energy beings into the 9 centered beings. And when you're like, well, who's right and what was all this stuff, Amy? I was like, I try and just be really open to it all being possible. And the best sort of thing for you guys to do is to work with the thing that resonates most with you. And I definitely approach, let's say, stay focused on the chakra system today, Amy. I definitely approach the chakra system from like a real, I'm going to say, grounded sense. Like, how does it actually feel in my body? How does it actually look in the physical reality? Because as human beings, the tangibles are what we really can attach ourselves to. And when we go, I can see it in the tangible, we then open the doorway to being more open for it to existing in the unseen. Okay, so today's episode, we are going to be working with the root chakra. In terms of the chakra system, the most briefest explanation of this like ever, there is believed to be 7 main energy centers running up the central channel of the spine. And actually, if you want to go to the tangible on this, in terms of these energy centers, they are places in the body where we either have like significant organs, or we have bundles of nerves collecting together, and bundles of electricity collecting together. And we can describe these centers, these energy centers, as vortexes. I like to think of them as swirling, whirling roundabouts. And I like to think of the human body as like a superhighway. So I'm driving on the motorway. That's the energy of my body. And these 7 energy centers are like, super roundabouts, where there's lots of energy interconnecting, intersecting, and coming together. And if you think about the motorway, this is the funniest analogy ever, like in terms of how the energy flows on the motorway. Sometimes there's not many cars and it's all just flowing effortlessly. Sometimes it's busy, and you've got to pay more attention, you've got to concentrate harder. Sometimes there's a tailback, sometimes there's a traffic jam, sometimes there's a crash, sometimes we need to stop a lot, sometimes we don't stop enough. This is the same. And then when you come to the roundabout, the vortex, the chakra center, each roundabout is connected to the stage of your journey. And then in terms of the chakra system, each roundabout is connected to a part of your body, a part of your being, and has an energetic quality. And I think just having like an awareness of these, how it might relate to how I live my life, how it might relate to how I work in my business, can really help us work energetically more effectively. And if we're working energetically more effectively, then things are easier. Boom, I'm up for that. If I'm working energetically more effectively, what it is I'm calling in, wishing to create, happens more readily, seems more possible. So the energy center that we're going to work with or talk about today is your root chakra, your Muladhara chakra. And this is found at the base of the spine in the perineum. And it's obvious that I would start with this one today because this is our base chakra, our bottom chakra. This is the chakra that grounds us to the earth. So this wonderful, I don't know if you ever think about this, but this wonderful planet, this little blue dot that is hurtling through space that we happen to all hang out on, right, is again an energy center. In fact, again, is an energy being. Okay, and our ability to have a concept of how powerful the earth is in terms of the energy of the earth, how big the earth is, it's very, I mean, I cannot fully wrap my head around it, I know that for sure, but what I can connect to is a feeling that I can ground to the earth beneath me. And in that grounding, I can do two things. One, I can discharge, I can get rid of the energy that is no longer serving me. And that might be my energy, but a lot of the time, particularly yoga teachers, but I'm just going to say if you're more empathic, so you feel the emotions of others very easily, that if you work with the body on any level, whether it be a talking therapy, physical therapy, if you're a school teacher, like, I mean, we all work with human beings pretty much in and interact with human beings on our everyday life. We have an ability to collect energy that isn't ours. And that can look like feeling like stressed, angry, upset. And you're like, but they're not actually my feelings, right? And this for yoga teachers, when in the mentorship program and those I train, I work a lot with understanding them when we go and deliver a class, that we are exposing ourselves to all the people that are there, whether it's on Zoom or in the room, we're exposing ourselves to the energy of everyone that's there. And if we are not creating a protective barrier between our energy and the energy of the people that we're working with, that their energy can easily come onto us, their energy can easily get stuck onto us. And I'm also going to say that when we, work with people over a period of time, that stuff happens to them, yeah, and sometimes something happens that will pierce your bubble, and it does come onto you, and you can't not feel, can't not go home and think about that student and wish them well. And we care about all our students and care about all the people we work with and want to help. So this energy can get stuck on us. And when I connect to my root chakra, when I ground through, and as a person walking around on 2 feet, when I ground through my feet if I'm standing, when I ground through my sit bones if I'm sitting, when I ground through the whole of my body when I'm lying down on the earth, those 3 ways that you can connect to this root chakra, I can give the energy that is no longer serving me, whether it's my old energy or whether it's energy of other people that I've collected, I can give that to the earth. Now just think about that for a minute. If I'm using the earth, if I'm connecting to my root chakra and I'm using that, whether I'm standing, feet, sitting, pelvis, lying down, whole body, and I'm using that to invite the energy that is no longer serving me to the earth, think about how clearing that might feel. Think about if I'm no longer carrying around excess energy, what does that mean to the energy that I have? And then what does that mean in terms of my ability to take action in my business? What does that mean in my ability to make decisions? So rooting down, connecting to our roots, first of all, will help us to clear the energy, get rid of energy that isn't ours, and have the energy we need to take that aligned action. The other thing in terms of the root is when we are connected to our roots, we will feel steady, we will feel more stable. And one thing that happens for all of us, for sure, particularly when we're self-employed, a business of one, solo entrepreneur, is like stuff comes up. A difficult client, a difficult student, for example, or the studio, the space I'm renting suddenly disappears, COVID, like honestly, or something happens in my personal life. Yeah, I'm self-employed and this is how I make my money. There are all things externally that absolutely impacts us all. I've got poorly children. I've got to cancel my class today. I'm not feeling very well. I've got to cancel my class today. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on about examples of these external influences that absolutely can unsteady us, that can make us go, oh my God, I can't do this, right? How do I go from there? And because we've got to allow those feelings to happen. That is what happens, by the way, frequently to me. But I've got to allow those feelings. And then how can I come back into balance? How can I steady the ship, for want of a better word? And it goes back to connected to my roots. Feel the feet on the ground, feel the pelvis when I'm sat on the earth, lying down. The earth is the strongest way that we can connect to this root-based chakra. Walking barefoot in the ground doesn't have to be long. One of the most powerful ways we can literally discharge the energy to the wonderful earth beneath our feet that can take it. So root chakra allows us to dispel excess energy. It allows us actually to then draw up the earthy, steadying energy that allows us to have the conviction, the energy to move forward and take action. It allows us when those external wobbles, so that's the internal, it allows those external wobbles to come into our space. Yeah, they are going to affect us because we're human, but it also then allows me to reconnect down to that rooty energy and then steadying that back ship. So again, I can go back into taking aligned action, whatever that might look like. And then lastly, this is getting more into the yoga side of things. In terms of the root chakra, it is believed to be the seat of our Kundalini, our serpent power. And Kundalini Shakti, they call it, and Shakti is creative energy. So I'm trying to simplify this because this is going to be really serious, but Kundalini serpent energy is like this untapped, like a source of energy. It's the source of the universe and it's the source of mankind. It is both. Yeah, it's the energy within us. And when we connect to our root, we connected this powerful creative energy. Okay. So when I am steady, when I'm grounded, when I'm rooted, I feel able to make decisions, whatever those decisions do for like what is the best next aligned action. I'm able to better navigate all the external stuff that happens to me because I'm human. And I also connect to this almighty energy that resides within me to release my creative power. And in that place, get right in touch with universal intelligence, source, whatever you want to call it, higher self, the place of great ideas, whatever you want to call it, right? I can connect to that energy and utilize it. Whew. I don't feel like I need to do any more part 2s and part 3s. Root chakra is really powerful. And it's the place to start. If you're like, I'm interested in this, I've not heard it before, it's just the place to start feeling the feet on the earth, feeling into giving the energy to the earth, feeling into drawing that energy up, feeling rooted and grounded and steady. And if you're not feeling rooted, grounded and steady, to give yourself the grace, to give yourself the space to find that energy before making those decisions. I mean, sometimes we have to make time pressed decisions, I know, but if you have the opportunity to give yourself some space, if you've got to make a decision about something and you're feeling a bit flighty, a bit out of balance, a bit like, I don't know, that energy, give yourself some time, as much time as available to you. And in that time, really step back from, I've got to make this decision, and step it into, let's root, let's ground, let's connect down to that root chakra, down to that earthy energy, and then see what the guidance comes up. Okay, my darlings, I've done it. A mini episode. Wish me luck for the other 2. I will see you all next week, and I'm doing the heart chakra next week. I'll also be revealing, this is all very well timed because I have some free training coming up, which is actually linking to one of these energy centers. And I'd also just like to draw your attention to 2 things at the moment. If you're a yoga teacher, the doors to my mentorship program open on the 22nd of April. It's been running for 2 years now. I know you guys listen to the podcast and you know how passionate about it is. I really do invite you, where possible, to find the investment in my mentorship program, because the more I run this program, the longer I run this program, the more yoga teachers I work with, the more kind of passionate I get that this is almost a non-negotiable for yoga teachers, that we need support, and I get support. I now would never work alone in my business. We need support in our teaching and our business, and the idea that we're all trying to figure it out alone is madness. And like the results I'm getting, and it's not just, I can tell you about the financial results. I can give you the data. Like everyone that comes into the program, makes their investment back and then some many times over. It's almost immeasurable because the energy of it rolls on. But I think it's more than that. I'm really realizing that my mentorship program is community and support, and that feeling like you're not alone anymore. And I'm going to just actually say I think that's priceless. So get your name on the wait list. Doors open 22nd of April. And I really encourage you to say yes. Okay, be part of the tribe that is leading the way in the yoga industry. Mentorship is industry standard. This is what it looks like when you get mentorship. Obviously from an experienced yoga teacher and business owner such as myself. And then if you're not a yoga teacher, because the mentorship program is just for yoga teachers and it's going to stay just for yoga teachers, but I know this does not just apply to yoga teachers, okay? And you've heard last week's episode that I'm growing this new branch of my business, and there's lots of exciting plans afoot. I can only just say that. But what I'd invite you to do is join my Substack community, Energy, Mindset, Money and More. You can join for free. The link is in the show notes. Or if you'd like to be part of the Financial Energy Exchange, you can buy me coffee and cake for £4.40 a month. I'm in my Substack community. It's a bit like my podcast, but it's a video. It's a 5-minute video each week, 5 to 10 minute video each week. I'm doing quite well at keeping it those lengths. Gold star emoji to me. And 1 week it will be like this business focus. So I've done Instagram bio magic, and then what's coming out next week is consistency is king, and what consistency might look like, and then alternating with the energy. So we've got this week was 1 restorative yoga pose a day to keep the nervous system wobbles away. Guess what? That's a 3 parts. There's 2 more parts coming to that. And when you join my Substack community, you get access to the magical marketing masterclass. No, that's not what you get. That's what's coming up. God, that was a big reveal, wasn't it? When you join my Substack community, you get access to the Soulful Art of Money Making Masterclass, which I normally charge for, but I'm gifting to everyone on my Substack community when they join for free. All right, my darlings, I will see you all next week.